Every once in a while, you make a weld that almost looks like you knew what you were doing. Of course, that's a mistake, you know. Well, how you doing there, guys and gals? This is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. And amongst other things today, later today, I started working on the brakes in earnest. And let me show you what I got. This is just a mock-up. A couple of pieces are welded, but most of it is just clamped in place. As you can see, there are clamps there, and there's another clamp there, and I don't know, there's another clamp back there. Yeah, clamps, lots of clamps. Before I get to that, I was working on trying to get this pulley off of this transfer box, which is what I call it, and boy oh boy, that thing is stubborn. I'm gonna have to do some more heat again tomorrow. I used heat and I had a puller on it, and I've already bent the pulley a little bit, but I think I can straighten that out. And in the process of doing that, I have set up the main shaft on the motor. I made this spacer on the back here, and I actually cut that down on the lathe. How about them apples, huh? No, I didn't show you. I used the back gears to get it down slow, and it worked just dandy dandy. So let's go to the brakes now. So the first thing, and I think probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how it works, and then I'll break it down for you. I have this pedal here, and notice what it says on the pedal. Release to go, depress to stop. Well, that should be self-explanatory, don't you think? This is actually the pedal off the original lawnmower, another part from the original lawnmower, along with our transmission over there. Now we're using the pedal, and yeah. Of course, we have the frame, but these are some of you guys that are into motorcycles should recognize these. These are footrests off of some kind of motorcycle. I'm not sure what. My son picked them up for me. They were in a free bin at a yard sale, and I have two of them. One of them is missing the rubber insert, but that's okay. I can make another rubber insert and we'll make them match, because I'll have similar setup on the other side for the gas pedal and for your foot to rest on over there. So we go down here. This is the whole setup, although it's been modified already. Originally this pedal was mounted to the outside here, and it's just sitting on here right now. It's not anchored in. It has to be anchored into this shaft so that it can drive our pitman arm back here. And the pitman arm is just pivoting on the shaft too, as you can see. So what it does, let me get down on my knees here. I have a tie rod end on here, and you can see I extended my pitman arm. I showed you that a little bit at the beginning. Have a tie rod end, and I welded it on, and then this piece here, our mechanical linkage going back, is off of a snowblower. It's the chute crank. If you recognize that, the crank handle would have been back here. There was a roll pin going through there to hold the handle in place, and it comes down here, then it goes up, and then it comes back here, and off that same snowblower, I used this guide, has a rubber insert in it, and then I have another one similar to it off of another snowblower, and the shaft that I have just hose clamped together is the other shaft off of the other snowblower for the crank, and it had a 90-degree bend on it, and I might have used it if I found it first. But that's going to go like that, and let me back this up a little bit so you can see better. See if I can do this one-handed without shaking too much. Moving my pitman arm, if I can find it, there it is. Move my pitman arm back and forth, it will slide back and forth like this. And going back there towards our brake band. And yes, it will be a push. And what my intent is to do, I have to do some modifications to this piece. And cut the shaft off, drill a hole out where it was welded in. I will thread this and make it adjustable there, and my intent to tie these two together is have one of those long nuts that is threaded on both sides, so that I have some adjustment here, and there'll be jam nuts on that as well. So that will give us two places for adjustment, here and back here. Now, when we come back here, and this is not anchored in place, obviously, I have a 6-inch 3/8 bolt, because that's all it uses is 3/8. That has been installed. I drilled a hole here in our carrier plate. It has been bent to follow the angle, because our carrier plate for the axle is at an angle. It's not square with the frame or the body. So I bent this to accommodate that angle, and I'm going to take these two wrenches, and they are going to get cut, and they're going to get a piece of tubing welded between them that will fit snugly over this here. And I will then anchor that. This will slide through that piece of tubing which is welded between these two wrenches. They're both cheapy Japanese 3/8. What else? You'd have 3/8 to go over a 3/8 bolt, right? And that will anchor the bottom of our brake. And that'll help it all to line up just like that. You know what I'm saying? So we have, the concept is there, and everything is roughed in. This is pretty solid right here now, but I know that it being that long, it wouldn't hold up very well with brake pressure against it. So that's the reason for these two pieces here and anchored down here. So that should make it plenty stiff, and it won't go anywhere. So that's our brakes, and hopefully tomorrow or the next day I will be able to get this all hooked together, and so it is in its final configuration, welded on. And I need to have Noah come over before I finish my pedal placement to find out where I want it. I may also lower this down a little bit. This is the highest point of the drag link, so that I can come down an inch if I have to, and even maybe have to twist the angle. Now let me show you something here, in case you're wondering what we're using to mount this. This is one of the wrenches I had bent, and I was originally going to use for support for my shock absorber towers before I put in this tie rod here, which does the same job and also mounts my headlights. So this works real good, and both sides will be curled, and I'll have one on this side, one on that side. We'll make a match so they look the same, and that will make us very, very happy. So there's the brakes, and that's my project for today, as well as you'll get to see some bird footage of a unique kind. So until next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, saying we're moving ahead one step at a time. Thanks for watching, for commenting and subscribing. And remember, we have our subscriber giveaway beginning over the weekend. Bye.